Hello, my dear students. I'm happy to see you today. My name is Ina, and we are discussing with you the difference between speak and tell, say and talk. Actually, speak and talk, say and tell. Sorry, I confused a little bit. I will tell you in some examples the difference between them. I hope you will remember them because lots of students have questions when to use this word, when to use that one. And I hope this webinar will help you. So the first what we will discuss with you say and tell. I'll get my paper with some examples and rules that I don't forget everything what I've prepared. So say and tell. Say or tell. That's the question. Sorry. Okay, first of all, I'm sure you know that say and tell are irregular verbs. So in the past, we say said or told. And the first rule which we have to keep in mind that these two words we use very often in reported speech when we report somebody's words. And here is the difference. So in the reported speech, for example, we have here, hello, he said. Hello, he said. In this case, say focuses, we can say here, focus on words. Focus on words. What the person actually really said. Let's look at the next one with tell, for example. She told him, well, they were going somewhere. They were going on holiday. So in this case, tell, we have here, it focuses more on information. So focus on information. Not really exactly what the person said, but what kind of information he wanted to report. And in this case, we need to use tell. This is the main idea. So in first say or in reported speech, we use when we want to focus someone on the words, and tell when we want to focus someone on the information, on the message, on the content of what someone said. Please keep it in mind. Second of all, it's easy to remember, but it's also important. After say and tell, we always have we have such things as direct and indirect objects. You don't need to know what it is, but I want you to pay attention. That I will write you two examples, and you will see what is the difference between them. Let's say. Okay, so what we have here. She said. Also, we have reported speech, and then we say she said what, for example. She wasn't paying for that. So this is our direct object, it's called, this direct object. After the word said, we always need to say what she said. We cannot say just she said. We need to say what she said. After tell, we also need to use such direct object. She told me that she wasn't, let's say, paying for that. I will use the same example. Again, we have here focus on words, here focus on the message. This is also direct object. We, after told, we need to say who she told that, who, what kind, well, not who, sorry, what kind of information she said, she told. But the difference is, as you can see, after she said, we don't need to say whom she said. But after she told, we always need to say always whom she said that. It's called indirect object, but again, doesn't matter. So first of all, after both of these words, we always need to say what the person told us or what the person said us. After said, we can use or not use whom we said that. And after told, we always need to say. As an option over here, it's possible to say, she said to me, but not necessary. One more time. If you want, you can use it, but it's not necessary at all. All right. I hope you will remember that. Okay. Also, we have some set phrases with tell, which you need to know. This is like kind of an exception. In all cases, we say whom she told, but we have a few phrases in which we don't use whom. I will write you them down. So the first one, this is tell, we have here, tell the truth, tell a lie, tell a joke, and tell a story. So in this rule, we don't need to say whom we told the truth, a lie, a joke, or a story. These are like set phrases which you have to know by heart. That's it. I hope, well, I know I tell you a lot that you have to know it by heart, but well. The next rule. After tell, we can use infinitive when we want to report the command or the instructions, and we normally don't use say. For example, they told us to come home. Like it's a command, let's say. Say we don't use in this case. When we want to report somebody's comment or instructions, better to say told. Or they told her to wait till the doctor arrived. I think you remember that. Well, that's it. I guess. I hope everything is clear. So the first one, say focuses on words, tell focuses on information. After say, we can or not say whom, but we need to use preposition to. She said to me, to us. After told, we always need to say whom. The exceptions are these phrases: tell the truth, tell a lie, tell a joke, tell a story. And when we want to report somebody's comment, we need to say they told us to come. We use infinitive in this case. So this is about say and tell. Let's talk about speak and talk. Speak or talk? That's the question. Okay. Hope you can see. Speak or talk. Okay. I'm going to write you two examples with the same words, but I want to talk to you about the difference between them. The first example, I need to speak to you. Another, I need to talk. Talk to you. So in this case, we have here talk. In this case, we have speak. What is the difference between them? The difference is that in this case, this sentence sounds formal. And this one sounds informal. And as it sounds formal, I will explain you what it expresses if it is formal. I need to speak to you. the speaker doesn't know you very well. It can be your boss, your colleague who you don't talk very often. It is formal setting, such as at work. What the person has to say is important, or maybe it's serious. When the person says, I need to talk to you, the speaker is your friend probably, or the speaker is someone you don't know very well, but you can have an informal conversation with them. So that's the main idea, the main difference between speak and talk. Of course, we have more. Just a sec. I'll get another paper, another example. What is the difference? Speak, usually we use when we talk about some, when we need to give some presentations or lectures. For example, Dr. Graham Foster will speak about the history of the region. Yeah, this is, we have like formal presentation. So speak, formal presentation, or a lecture. Talk, usually it can be informal one. For example, Kale is going to talk us through the benefits of the software, and then Liz will talk about the marketing plan. So it's not really like formal presentation. She will just stand up at the meeting and she will tell us about that. That's it. When we want to use a language, for languages we always use only speak. So this is the first one, formal presentation or lecture, speak, and also languages. Like, do you speak any foreign languages? We say speak. How many languages do you speak? Okay. Also, there is one more difference between speak and talk. That speak we use when we want to focus on the person who is producing the words. So focus on the person. Who is producing words. One more time. He spoke about the importance of taking exercise and having a good diet. So it can be a webinar she spoke, or she gave a lecture. On the contrast, we will have with you now talk. I will write you over here, talk. Talk. It's usually, as I said, informal presentation, maybe. Informal presentation. We cannot use for languages, and it focuses on having conversation, not on the person who speaks. On having conversation. So I'm sorry. So we speak, it can be just, you can speak at home, like giving presentation to your walls or in the mirror. And talk, it includes one more person who has conversation with you. You cannot talk just to yourself. Well, you can be, if you have like one more, I don't know, consciousness, one more mind, then you can talk to yourself. But actually, speak, we use, we can use when the person just, when we focus on the person who speaks, and talk when we focus on the conversation between at least one more person, let's say. Also, I want you to say that speak we have to use when we talk on the phone. So, on the phone, we say, can I speak to Margarita, for example? That's it, I guess. The last thing that I want you to say is that after speak and talk, we usually say to somebody, to you. Can I speak to you? Can I speak to him? Less common and more formal, we can say with, but it's not very often, let's say. I don't know whether you can see, but I will write over here with. So we can say speak to somebody or speak with somebody, but more common to say speak to somebody and talk to somebody instead of with. With is possible, but less less informal, more formal, let's say. Sounds much more formal. Well, I guess that's it about speak and talk. I hope you've got everything. I hope I didn't speak very quickly. If I spoke very quickly, you can rewatch the webinar. Now we will have with you a short practice of these 4 words. So we have say, tell, speak, and talk. The first one, you have only to use tell or say. Think what kind of word you need to use, tell or say. Give you a minute. Let's check. The sales manager is going to tell everyone about the meeting, like to inform everyone, let's say. Focus on information, message. Vicky, why don't you just say what the matter is? Words, we focus on words. They say they are going to build a Disney World here. After say, we have here direct objects they are going, and we don't say whom, so tell is not possible to use. What did Natasha tell about her holiday plans? Like information, focus on information. Could you tell me? We have here me, so for sure we need to use tell because we say whom. The way to the train station. Next, please. Again, tell or say. All right, what we have here. The company should tell its employees whom we have, what's going on. So for sure we need to say tell. You shouldn't tell lies. It's a sad phrase. You know, Matthew. Did you say anything to Melanie about the barbecue? Direct object, anything to Melanie? All the experts say the earth is getting warmer. And did you tell whom, Mark and Sarah, how to find our house? I guess easy. The next one, you need to say, do you speak or talk? Let's look. I think it's very easy, so we will do it quickly. How many languages can you speak? Talking about languages, we say speak. I asked to talk to the manager directly. To talk, in this case, we focus, it's more like maybe informal conversation. Every time they meet, they talk about nothing but sports. For sure, this is talk because it's informal. He's going to have to speak for himself on that problem. This is more formal, like maybe it's a meeting. We spoke today with Joyce and McConnell and Jackie Kim. So this for sure formal because we even say the person's surnames. And speak up is a phrasal verb. You have to learn phrasal verbs. It means like speak louder, please. I can't hear you at all. Next, please. So let's check. Frankly speaking, we have to say it's a sad phrase. I think a person must, and it's very formal phrase, must put his own interests first. After dinner, we usually sit and talk on the back porch. So talk is like informal conversation. Do I talk sans? It's maybe sad phrase for me. It's time to talk face to face. Also a sad phrase. Dennis, come out just you. Don't talk back to your mother. It's a phrasal verb. Talk back. This is when you say some bad words to the person who you are talking to. And we have much to talk over. Also a phrasal verb, to discuss, like meaning to discuss. Now you have to make the choice of four words: speak or talk, tell or say. Please think for a while. So the first one, what are you talking about? I guess, like, what are you talking about? It's clear. What do you say to a person? To, we say preposition, to a person when you meet him first time. We are focused on words. Oh, mom, tell us a fairy tale, please. Us, that's why we need to say tell, and tell us a fairy tale. More focus on information. He doesn't speak, of course, any foreign languages because we talk about languages. Tell other students that they must always tell the truth. Actually, it must be tell other students, not another. Tell the truth, we say. It's a sad phrase. Mr. Black isn't going to speak at the next conference. It must be to speak, not speaking. Isn't going to speak at the next conference. The next, please. Drink some water. I hope I will feel better with my throat. So what we have here. At the weekends, you prefer talking with your boyfriend about their future. Can you imagine how boring it is? So talking because we have here informal conversation. Tom doesn't say a word, focus on words to his father about his problem. They speak fluently English and French languages. He likes talking on different topics, in a more informal. At the wedding ceremony, the priest always says, say after me. Focus on words. And this fact tells its own tale or story. Tell a story, a sad phrase. Now I would like to look with you at some questions and I want you to think how to answer them. Do you speak any foreign languages? Like I speak English and German and Ukrainian and Russian. How often do you tell a lie? Like every day do you lie to someone? Or maybe not so often. When was the last time you talked to your best friend? Maybe on the phone or you meeting? Who said, I'll be back? It's a famous quote from Terminator, and Schwarzenegger said, I'll be back, like, I'll come back. Can you tell a joke? Some people are not able to tell jokes. They are not funny when they tell them. Do you know how to say hello in Arabic? I think maybe Allah Akbar. I'm not sure. How do you feel when a person says, I need to talk to you? Is it okay for you? Well, for me, yes, but when the person says, I need to speak to you, then it sounds very serious. Do you usually tell the truth to people or you prefer to lie? Are you afraid to speak at the conference? Is it okay for you to speak in front of a lot of people or not? So let's make the conclusion. Today, we discussed with you the words speak and talk and also say and tell. I hope I explained you the difference between them. The difference is quite clear. Sometimes we can use both of them. In most cases, we have specific situations. Remember the rules, as always. Read, speak, listen more. Focus on these words. Pay attention how they are used. It will be helpful for you. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. See you. Bye.